Good morning, everybody. Guys, I am just going to finish making my coffee to be with all of you. It's so sweet to see you all over here already. So let me just give you a quick music because I was planning to start it right on a dot, but I guess it's going to be a little bit later because the coffee did not boil yet. So let's start with some music. Please tell me where you're from, what sign you're having, and actually the most importantly, how are you doing? I really want to know. And let's see and wait for the moderator to join us in. Water didn't boil yet. It's almost done there. Oh my gosh, I am so sleepy. So when I'm sleepy, that usually means I ramble, 2 I make no sense, 3 you know, I just like lose which side is doing. But so my intuition is going to be on full display. So let me just quickly grab my coffee. I'm going to give you music, very short one, probably just like 30 more seconds, and I'll be back. There, look, I finally managed to get ready. So how's everybody? Let's see who is over here. Hi Barbie, hi Lati, hi Crystal. Oh my gosh, some familiar faces. Let me backtrack. Hev was the first one. Yay. Anita, Jennifer. Today your daughter turns 10. Congratulations. Happy birthday to the Scorpio. Same as always. Feeling much better than last. I'm so glad to see it. I hope you went back to Reiki. That Reiki always helps. So I'm not so sure if I have enough energy to do Reiki, but maybe we can do Heidi on. Oh my gosh, Australia, it's so nice to see people from the other side of the planet. Grooming cat and chat. Oh, that sounds lovely. Let me see who else is gracious. Good morning. China, Bree, good morning. Laura, good morning. Hey Tori, I'm in love. You're not Tori dear. This sounds better. LA, oh my gosh, you're up early. So Lati, you're going to decide who is going to be the mod of a day, so you have less work, but then instruct them also what they need to do, please. Hi Sally, good birthday party. Oh my gosh, like look at this, what a lovely day for so many of you. Have butterflies. That would be really, really nice. Let's, like, we will pay attention to Leo reading. Nico, good morning. Good to see guys over here. Hi Millie. Eileen, there are some new names. Look at Barbie, like Barbie, and Temperance Rising is over here. Corina. Well, Lars Hansen, welcome from Denmark, right? Am I right? Faroe Island is somewhere next to Greenland, so it's really, really far north. And Lars, are we good with time? So now we are in sync. We'll shift in Europe, I think one week before us. Temperance Rising, good to see you, babe. Didn't see you in a while. Anita. And so, sip of a coffee. So today I am using chakra cards, and what the heck is this called? Witch's Tarot, I believe. And so we are going to use this a little bit differently. So I'm today, because you know I like to shift things, kind of like a little creative part of me. So we're going to start seeing, and these ones I always look upright only because this is simply just giving me your psychological makeup. So we're just going to see sort of like the tendencies, and then we are going to follow up with sort of like semi-Rider-Waite deck, and just like to see where we are heading. So of course you're starting with water signs, so we are saying goodbye to water signs this week. And we are saying hello to Mercury retrograde and a whole bunch of things that are going to happen. Hi Alexandria. Hi Sibyl Hill. Morning. Anita, Netherlands. Look at this. We have Europe in the house. We have Australia in the house. We have, of course, North America in the house. Who else is here? Do we have Africa? Do we have Latin America? Do we have Indian continent or Asia? Guys, tell us. This is like so nice. Okay, Lars, part of Denmark. Danish. And look at you, like, I mean, oh my gosh, I thought I embarrassed myself publicly not being able to point it out geographically. That's so nice. You don't hear much about Faroe Island. I definitely wanted to visit Greenland for sure. I actually even applied to go and live there. And then I changed my mind and I felt it's a little bit too cold. I already live in Canada, so Puerto Rico, there you go. We have Puerto Rico, Caribbean. And you must be laughing at me, Lati, how am I pronouncing this? Okay. Water. Greece. Oh my gosh. What kind of weather do you have in Greece? I think I was in Greece once in this period. In November, and it was like so cold. The winds in Athens, I felt, oh my gosh, is it possible the wind goes through me? It was like unbelievable cold for Southern Europe, but Greece is so beautiful, so beautiful. So water signs, what I need to know about water signs. Oh, look at this, Angel. Thank you very much. Angel, I do not answer questions over here. I might consider having, you know, sort of like intro things, but trust me, it's kind of like really hard for me to focus on one person. So it's not really fair to you, and it's not fair to everybody else who is online. So that's why I don't do it. Okay, water. Ooh. What, you're getting a whole bunch of stuff. No. Yes, it is somewhere. Yeah, that's how I saw it in my head. The Greenland would be here. Here would be UK, and you would be probably somewhere here. I don't know if I remember my geography. But keep in mind that I went to elementary school in Europe, so there are really good schools over there. There we have something. We have service. Okay, let me grab one more thing. Wow, look at this, a small world. Like, I mean, he knows have awesome. Okay. I love to see Greenland, Puerto Rico, Greece. Look at this. I'm also envious. There are so many people here in the world. Look at this. Like, we have a Cancer. How many more water do we have over here? I have some really good news. First of all, water. This is my chakra deck. Let me just give you a really quickie. Base chakra, sacral chakra, solar plexus chakra, heart chakra, throat chakra, third eye chakra, and crown chakra. These are 7 basic chakras that most people have. In my school, my students got opened up to more of them, so they actually have more, and that's basically now the intuitive abilities are much higher. So this is kind of like really interesting because this is a sacral chakra and now we have a throat chakra. So for you guys, sacral chakra rules sexuality. It's like really something that is really appealing to basically your element, and it is kind of like really important over here in this kind of like service card. It's basically talking about attracting whatever you desire, but you need to give up your desire. So how is this like now? It's a conflict, right? In this, it's energy here is like one of manifesting, being through manifestation through service, right? So that's why I mean, like, you have to be nourishing. Like, we see this old lady dying who is having some perception of her world. I really think these people are not existing there, but there is like a rebirth. As you can see, this kind of like her life is flashing in front of her, how she maybe had this child that is now over here really helping her. So this is telling me also, guys, that there's going to be some kind of steadfast ability to stay the course emotionally. So when something like this shows up, this means maybe you felt, you know, kind of like getting off your path. Maybe you felt maybe vulnerable, but this is really talking that you can create something sustainable, that you can create something lasting, but also that is bringing to light certain things that you don't value or that you don't care, right? Because look, she is maybe not communicating, maybe she has, it's just like between the two worlds, but the things are really happening, right? So be very careful. Sometimes we don't want to compromise our values. So you have to see how important is your value. Is this something that is a core belief or something that is really not important? But this is about finding contentment and precious memories. Hello, memories. It's like Mercury retrograde. So compassion and loyalty and strength. You guys are really expressing things that you really want to express over here. So look, we have the winter and then we have summer, I guess, the growth, and there is like only one path here. So these two chakras connecting are kind of like very significant over here, right? So obviously the lady is going, like, I mean, on her new journey. We as a soul, we migrate from the phases that we hate and we get emotional, people die. It's a horrible thing, but the truth is, it's just like, I mean, it's just a stage. And that's the part of the Western world that I really don't like. In the Eastern worlds, they just don't have death as we do. They don't hide people who are dead. That it's just a passage of life. Animals are also kind of like understanding it. Missing somebody is kind of like different thing, right? So there is like this belief, when I'm somewhere else, then my life becomes meaningful or something. So there is like always kind of like issue here in putting all these things into perspective. It almost looks like a full circle to me, that there's like something that is going to happen. So it is time for you to take a risk. Where do you really need to kind of like walk the walk in your life, my dear water? Open yourself to wisdom. Both of this is wisdom. Don't waste time. Time is really precious. There is a courage, there is journey, there are answers, there is service, there is humility that is happening over here. And water is really good in this kind of like situations. Water generally kind of like can give you this soft place to fall. So maybe this also could mean that you have been a soft place to fall for too long, and it is really time right now not to kind of like say, look, it is time for you to spread your wings and fly, and I'm always here, I'm always going to be open to you. So there is like positioning somehow in different directions that I see over here. Brooklyn, this is a little bit too much information. Okay, so let's go. Scorpio, and happy birthdays to Scorpio. This is the most dangerous Scorpio, this like 30 kind of Scorpio. Oh my god, don't mess with those guys, right? Okay, so Scorpio, what messages am I getting for my Scorpio? Hi Stephanie. Scorpio, no, I don't want like I'm in 21 cards. This is just weekly short review. This one wanted to jump out. Two of Pentacles. Do you have like too many things on your plate, guys? Do you kind of like really are trying to figure like different life aspects, or are you dealing with somebody who might be juggling and kind of like having issues with them? This is kind of interesting card, especially in this deck. You see this like infinity. So this is suggesting to us this is always going on. This card has like so many meanings, but there's life out there. There's like something approaching, something that can be very meaningful in the situation. You're not seeing it. Again, there is going to be a whole thing about perspective in this time period. This perspective is something that is going to enrich you. Sometimes in life we keep going and then we get stuck. And we get stuck because we need to kind of like really put all these puzzles together and create an element instead of like just keep going cluelessly. Or maybe we are on the wrong path and the signs are pointing us, hey, you know, you took the left turn over there, kind of like just still enough time to go back. But we just kind of like go through the stop signs and, you know, and then wonder like, how the heck am I in a ditch? Well, it was a big sign, do not drive through it, like 300 meters you're going to kind of like go down the precipice. So this is basically one of those situations that I see over here, that it could be kind of like driving that down. And so this is just like simply saying you need to turn around, you need to see what is around you, you need to be open to feedback from the other people, you need to understand exactly, try to be, you guys are highly intuitive, try to get into their shoes and to see why they see certain things the way they do. And you're having a Six of Pentacles. Yes, it is all about some kind of like commitments. It's all about maybe what people want. Maybe somebody wants to commit, another person doesn't want to commit. This also could be about sharing. You know, especially in relationships, we want to be with people, but that red flags and red signs and whatever you want to call it, stop signs, are saying, well, this person doesn't want to commit, or, you know, this person is having multiple women kind of a thing, or multiple men. And here is like really talking about measuring. This also talks to me about boundaries. It also tells me about giving and sharing, that if there is like no bread there, keep moving on. If there is, maybe you kind of like really want to have a different approach in the situation. There are issues about a commitment that I'm picking up over here with you. It could be also some kind of like argumentativeness. You're getting, guys, Pentacles. There's going to be lots of domestic affairs, dealing with daily things, and that kind of like might be feeling that you're like carrying most weight and that you have burdens on your shoulders. You need to remember that it's time for you to kind of like spread your wings and kind of like start having a courage to go in direction where you were supposed to go in the first place. Deep thinker, round and round with the Scorpio sun. Yes, a celebration. Yes, guys, you will actually celebrate if you allow yourself to see. Maybe there is like a sense that other people want to, maybe you're just in pain, clearly, that something is going on, that you feel loss, that you feel, but this is actually encouraging card. It's just saying that we can take the same situation in a good way, right? And it's kind of like a time for us to understand. I think celebration really refers to your own self-growth and get out of that. It could be a funk, it could be that you're stuck, and it could be that you're just like simply scatterbrained. So maybe you're just giving too much, or maybe you're feeling you're not giving enough. In any case, just like take one day at a time for the next week. Who do we do next? Oh, look at this Pleiadian tarot. We didn't see you in a while. Good to see you again. All right, so what is next? What is next? Let's go with Pisces. Let's go with Pisces, Pisces, Pisces. Oh, Temperance rising, happy birthday to you. And I'm going to sing more because everybody will leave. Okay, okay. Okay. Pisces, Pisces, Pisces. Five of Swords, Five of Swords. Generally, Five of Swords is not a great card, I'll be honest with you, but in this deck is a little bit different. In this deck, something is making a point. There'll be something maybe harsh, maybe you'll be on the receiving end, maybe you're going to feel that people are ganging up against you, but this is also saying there are lots of little kind of like angels and helpers that you have. You need to understand that just like whatever is happening, it could be just like simply a perspective, just like these cards are clearly suggesting over here. And also you're having the King of Pentacles, Pisces, good news. If you are not dating or you're just meeting people, it's going to be somebody who is the good catch and somebody who is willing to commit. If you are in a relationship or in a kind of a iffy situation, this can indicate that you are going to the next level. This indicate that, okay, so let's have that talk and it's kind of like worth it. Maybe this means that you're going to get review while you are this and this and that. So see, depending on what the reaction will be, and that's kind of like one of those catches-22. If you become very defensive, if you become, oh, I need to win this at any cost, this person might think that you are not the partner that they want, because this person is actually very mature. They really want somebody who kind of like can understand, hey, I'm doing this, but I know who you are. I am not in any kind of like lovey-dovey kind of like situation that I look at the world with pink glasses. I am simply doing this because I see this potential. So just be real, just be real. That's all I'm asking. So if you kind of like become vulnerable instead of edgy, yeah, things are going in a new direction. Somebody probably really is picking up somebody. You can hear the horn behind the light. Yeah, and you know what? It's going to be one of these situations, you know, like when you especially we women, when we play games with guys, whatever it is, Monopoly, chess. I hate playing games with guys. I learned that a long time because I really want to win. I really want to win. And also I'm really good in those games. And then I win. And then somebody's sulking forever, right? So sometimes the light is letting them win. But in a way they don't realize that. And they're feeling this glory, there's like this testosterone going on, and you're happy because they're happy, because it's actually benefiting everybody. So this is what's going to be a surprise for you guys, that you'll be in a situation that is going to you're going to kind of like give something up. You're not going to feel really great about that, but the reward that you're going to get, you'll go, oh, look at that, how did that happen, and I didn't even struggle in this kind of situation. So something like that. Okay, so Cancer. Hi from Montreal. Hello, fellow Canadian. How cold is in Montreal? Okay, and look at this. Cancer has King of Cups reversed. Why? Why is this reversal happening here? Ooh, but that's good. I don't know, is Cancer, do we have Cancer in the house? Cancer is really talking about, generally this represents Pisces, but since we are reading about Cancer, I really think this is maybe talking about you. This might be talking about somebody who is in your life. Maybe you feel emotionally controlled, maybe you feel sad. This is a really tough person to deal with, because in your face they're going to be super sweet and leave you with a really good feeling, but they're not going to follow through on anything. In fact, you're going to find that everything for this person exists only in that moment, right? So they'll say, I want to marry you, we are meant to be together, and so on and so forth, and you're already kind of like ordering your wedding dress, and this person disappears. And they're saying the same thing to everybody. Partially because they will get what they want, but partially because they're just dreamers. And we can see it here with the star. also could be that there's like still some effect from somebody from the past, whether you know it or not. Sometimes people don't even realize that they keep dealing with the same person all the time. They just show up in different bodies, and they just like, we kind of like add new layer of crap we need to deal with. But you guys are waking up from that stage. Like, you are saying, well, that was enough. I kind of like need to really kind of like uplift myself. The star card is always about hope, always about enthusiasm, always about kind of like, no, I'm ready to look forward. I'm ready to go on that quest. So it's really, really, really important. So communication. Hello, the star is all about communication, in particular wireless communication. So cell phone communication, emails, texts, that's what's going to be happening. So don't also take somebody, and again, this kind of like really connects over here. It could be that you have been with somebody who, or you're dealing with the issues of how to deal with the other person, how much and how forward you need to give yourself before you say, well, wait a minute, we are both supposed to be independent people who are choosing to be together, to be interdependent, not codependent. And this person is saying all the right things, but doing squat or doing something minimal, so that way, you know, you keep wondering your own sanity. Do not wonder. Communication is the key, and it's telling them, look, you know, you said this, you did this, can you please explain that? And there is like, of course, air sign telling you how to a water sign, so you might be laughing, right, because you guys go about it. But this is exactly what you need to do. You need to kind of like go into that with your own, following your own star. This is also talking about healing, that you have been affected by some kind of situation, and this is a really time to release it. Okay, so now we are opening to vote which element, or I don't know, like if I should opening to vote, but anyway, let's do that. Opening to vote what element we are doing next. Okay guys, let's see Lati, which and Brooklyn is the moderator that's going to get her reading this time around. So that's kind of like from my end, but I do not make decisions about these people over here on the board. So Lati is the moderator in charge, but she can take the role herself, or she can just assign it to somebody on Saturdays. So let me see what I see. Air, fire, air, fire, air. I think it's air. Looks like air. Of course, that's what I said. I shouldn't ask, because usually the first one is air. That's the fastest. Then the fire. So, you know. Okay, so let's do air. Air. I'm gonna have a sip of coffee. Because the Nescafe is actually my 4th cup already today, so it's a little too much. Okay, air, 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 air. Lati, I didn't see who will be the moderator, who will be assigning one area, 15-minute, like I'm in sample reading, because I was looking down instead of up. So let me see. And Lati's coming here even though she doesn't have electricity. Puerto Rico is still suffering big times. Big times. And guys, we need to kind of really understand, actually that's what I really want to talk about it, and I don't want to make it a speech, I want to make a reading. With everything that is going in the world, with this like animosity and tribalism, I mean, come on, there is like a really clear answer out, that we really need to kind of like think about the goodness in the other people, and we can be that force that is changing the world, starting right now, right here. So I just ask you, you know, that you can reciprocate from me doing this reading with you just doing one good thing in this week. That's all, just like being little messengers of good. And there I go. So air. Oh my god, what are we getting ourselves in? Complacency. It's actually sort of good. It's sort of good, but I can totally see how air is getting itself into some kind of like boo-boo over here, right? So what do we see here? We see a lady sitting here, and there is like sort of like something that is like enveloping her. So it's kind of like maybe existential issues. It could be financial issues. There's like simply talking about this like life force energy and something that has to be taken seriously. So my dear air, we need to wake up. There is like some kind of like element of disconnect from that universal energy, and maybe like, I mean, air could feel weaker or weakened in the situation. So needing to kind of like stand tall in our own dreams, or are we actually living somebody else's dream? Because keep in mind that most of us are just being programmed to kind of like do things that everybody else wants us. Our parents program us, which is at least to give us tools for lives, but they're giving us their opinions. We at some point need to question it and say, this is right for me, and what do I really do? It could be some kind of like sadness, and it could be some kind of like inability to disassociate from some lost dreams, and like, oh, I was this once and now I have to do that kind of a thing. It is definitely a time to walk away from something that does not deeply resonate with you. We need to release something. So I think this is a spring cleaning for the soul, I would say, over here. It's kind of, look, this doesn't work anymore. Oh, this dress, yes, it is size 2, but I'm size 16 now. It doesn't fit anymore. So yeah, disco is not in fashion anymore, let's get rid of it, kind of a thing, right? You need to realize that was then, this is now, kind of like exist over here. So redefining your dreams and stop procrastinating, and that's clearly self-nourishment, good food, positive thoughts, energy has to come back. If this means exercise, and I'm not telling you to exercise again, get on a treadmill, just like get busy, be more active, walk around, cook your food, kind of a thing, right? Could be some kind of like lack of motivation, being kind of like held back. You know, like what kind of like just flashed through my and I know I'm probably becoming schizophrenic, I'm seeing this visions. What flashed through, like just like in front of me, was, what do you call it, reclaimed wood, right? That live edge, when you just slice the wood, and instead of just like letting it rot, you actually cover it with that epoxy and making a really big table. So it's saying that something has to be shined up, something needs to be brought to the surface in its beauty. So the beauty is there. Just because it was rotting away, it was because it was neglected. Air, stop neglecting yourself, like, right? Like, I mean, air signs are my biggest supporters over here. So, but you know how air can get like into funk and depression, and plus we are dealing with Mercury retrograde, plus we are dealing with winter blues for those of us here. I couldn't believe it. We had snow for 2 days. Snow in November. It was like, what? Kind of like sometimes in Toronto is not in snow belt, and I bet most people don't know it. Like Montreal, you guys, you are cold. It's freezing, but not in Toronto. And sometimes we don't get snow until January, right? But this time in November, holy moly. Now we have this green acorn over here, and the green acorn is saying, I'm not the victim, I choose what I want to do. So this is really telling me that it kind of like feels that we got pegged somewhere, but not that somebody did it to us, but that we did it to ourselves. So there is like some kind of denial. There are things that are holding us back, but we kind of like saddle ourselves with that. We need to make an honest assessment of our situation. And being an air is never moderate, never. That's why air was like right there, give me air, I want the air first. So there is like this empowerment. So something like, honestly, within a week, it's going from I don't feel like doing it. I just like want to be a couch potato, to holy smoke, I'm just like overdoing it, right? So yeah, these two are balancing each other out, but the point here is about, okay, now you're doing wrong thing just on the other side of the story. So what is the workaholic card talking about? We see, I thought it was a prune initially. At first, like, usually feel the cards myself before I read what they talk about. So the story here is like about 2 blueberries actually, but anyway, for me it was a prune, so I'm going to stick with it. So this young blueberry is like so enthusiastic about the projects and the painting and communicating, you know, like this is like that young enthusiastic energy. But the old prune or old blueberry is saying, you know what, one day, this is not to be a meanie or told you so, you're going to be old and you're forgetting other people over here. People are important, projects are important, but you're neglecting yourself over here. So this is a clearly situation over here. It is talking about reassessing our life, and it looks like that we want to compensate for kind of like dropping kind of like certain things down for some kind of like reason, because you know there is like some kind of inspiration that is going to come through, and I really think that could be a little bit of that you know, especially air signs, when we get inspired, we just like work around the clock. There's like really not stopping. So this is actually really good in a sense, as long as you know, do not kind of like go on the other side of this. There's like a need to understand that kind of like you need to put things in balance. But I really think it's going to be definitely some kind of like rush into, oh my gosh, I have lost time. So this also can tell me that maybe there's a distraction from some issues that are going on, from something internal that is happening. Sometimes we are covering pain with being busy, which kind of like is a good advice to do that. But we are transforming some kind of like feelings of inadequacy, and this is definitely, to me, transformation indicated. And we are realizing that work is not everything, right? And we are really kind of like becoming that creative and refreshed into direction where we are going. All right, so who do I do first today? Gemini. Gemini, 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 Gemini. Let me see something. Gemini, 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 Gemini. What, Gemini? You're not communicating with me? 7 of Wands. Have you been bullied recently, or have you been trying to assert yourself in some situation? It sounds to me that you just give up. It's just like something is not worthwhile for you anymore. You just like, so forget it. Like, why am I even dealing with this? I'm just like so out of this kind of a thing. It's kind of really interesting. Gemini. Well, Lati, they don't deal with feelings, and then they bottle it up and they just collapse. Gemini, Gemini. Okay. Gemini, it's going to be hard for you to be intuitive, and I can see it over here. There'll be lots of internal work for the air in this time period, but Gemini, you're actually really resolving this. Look, you're getting into this King of Wands. This is the awesome energy. This is like, again, this like, I'm doing stuff, I'm seeing places, I'm seeing people. Mind you, there's like still disconnect, just like when we saw it here. It was like too much of a quick jump. Yeah, Rome was not built in a day. Pace yourself. Problem is, like, you will not get there anyway. You're just going to feel frustrated. That's the problem with this, right? So, but there is like something good. You're kind of like realizing, you know what, certain things are no-go. You're certainly not letting certain people in your kingdom, and there is like this entire decision has to be, I'm no longer a victim. And you guys are definitely taking this message in stride and kind of like moving forward. Very important. King of Wands. it's really good. It's going to be kind of like fun period for you at the very end, as soon as you kind of like do that. Efficiency, and that efficiency is also knowing who belongs in your world, who doesn't. It's like, for me, it's a simple take your phone and these people are no longer on the list, delete, delete, delete kind of thing, off you go. If somebody is dragging you down, time to go. But also it is time for you to kind of like fix yourself and see, okay, is there that stagnant energy? Guys, clean your closets, clean your fridges. This is immediate result. The energy starts to flow, and it could be just like something like that. Actually, I just did that a few days ago and I started to feel better. But my dad had another mini stroke, and it was like a panic, right? What's going to happen? But he's already at home. Some people, you know, Taurus with their energy, good lordy, never really, like, I mean, you never know what's happening. So very, very strong. So let's go with Aquarius next. Aquarians, shadow side and Page of Swords. Aquarians, we need to let the light in. Shadow side is the devil card in the other decks, but here is like so lovely expressed, right? So they're I will tell you the allegory of the cave. I think Plato wrote that piece. It's a very short piece, and I advise everybody to Google it on YouTube. They have animated version, something really short, but this is how it goes. There is people in the cave, so they sit in the cave, right? And they just like see this wall in the cave. They're sitting here, so the light comes through the small kind of like crack, and they're seeing the shadows on the wall. Remember the songs, Shadows on the Wall? That's where this comes from. And they're kind of like making their own sense out of it, just like some of us make out of clouds or stars and so on and so forth. So one day, one of these people, probably Aquarius, climbs up and sees, hey, I can actually get out of here. Look, actually, light outside. Things are actually different. We were not right. Things were just not as they appear. Things are really, really different, right? So the guy goes out, he goes in the world, he learns about it, he learns how actually wrong perception it was. He comes back. And I don't know if I got the end of the story, if I'm getting the end of the story right, but my recollection is that he returned back, he told them what's going outside, and they really didn't want to believe it because their core belief was like so stuck into what they see, and they believe this is reality. So I really think they stoned that person, right? So here the light is coming through. Are you going to believe some old prejudices? This is really, to me, linking Aquarians dealing with self-esteem. Aquarians are dealing with things that are dragging them down. You need to cut through it. You definitely need to kind of like understand, yes, there is out there. And literally, I'm getting word coming to me, out. Go out. And I don't care. I know it's cold. I know it's snow. Just go out. Get this D vitamin, and kind of like the things will be different. Like, we're going to be a little bit edgy again, having a little harsh edge, but this is really actually good in this situation because we are dealing with some shadows from our past. We are dealing with beliefs that are not sustainable, so we need to clean our own house. And I think this is really, really positive. I actually don't see this as a negative here at all. Page of Swords can have this like, what do you mean, and blah, 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 kind of a thing, but that goes right back to this victim. The moment this victim kind of like evaporates, there is like no need for this kind of like pointedness, right? So stay away from Aquarians this week. How's that? So, Aquarians have some kind of like crap to clean in their own house and celebration. Yes, as I said, I did see that as a positive because you clean your house, you increase your vibration, and then the whole world benefits because Aquarians by nature are humanitarian. No, we are not good one-on-one. That's why people think we are aloof. I get it. I am aloof, but I want to help everybody. So that's going to be that kind of like understanding, because Aquarians are trying to figure out, well, even today, like, why would people come on my channel and leave a nasty comment? Well, why, you know, why the cat has, you know, whiskers? It just is. Some people are like that. They have lower energy. They react to something that exists in their own world, in the shadow world. They look at the shadows. They're not looking to contribution. So there is no why answer. The only answer is, hey, just let go. Not important. Leave them where they are. So we are going to be productive, and we are going to keep busy, but also dealing with some stuff from the inside. And let's see my beautiful Librans, my Ascendant. Isn't this lovely? I get the air reading, and I get already 2 readings in it. Okay, bang. And I think it was one more. Yeah. Oh my God. Libra, you lucky bastards. Look at that. The wheel. We have the sun reversed, but this is still very good. Very good. Sun is always the sun. Even if it's a sunset, you still see the sun. It's a little bit of a burnout. Libras are going to be big workaholics. I think Libras are going to be beautifying things in their unit. Be very careful buying big items, guys, during Mercury retrograde. I will probably have another live this week and address this Mercury retrograde, or alternatively, I'm going to just record a little kind of like audio that I usually do sometimes. I'm really impressed with this. You have like these 2 tents, and then one, there is a shift going on. There is like shift in energy. There's a shift in perspective. There's a shift in where you're going forward. You might be meeting somebody. This person might have a child. This person might want to have a child with you. It's going to be this really energy of your batteries being recharged. Now you're having like these 2 round things. To me, this is really telling me it's a karmic cycle. You're getting karma card over here, and this is like setting your eye on a big time potential. That's why I'm seeing this card workaholic really coming through over here. It looks like to me that you have been already dealing with most of these things even last week, that you're kind of like waking up. I love this ace. I don't like Ace of Cups at all. Everybody's like getting so like, I mean, lovey-dovey over that ace. I don't even love it, because just because somebody winks at you in a bar doesn't mean it's going to be a relationship. This one does. When this ace shows up, it means that seeds you're planting are going to grow. So plant your seeds. The destiny is on your side. Whatever you're going to be doing this week, and you're going to now go gone off the live, I'm going to do that. It's going to have a long-term benefit. So note to myself, I am working the whole day long, today and tomorrow and next 7 days. Forgiveness. Maybe this is why this is over here. I really think it's a forgiveness to yourself, even though this is scribbling 2 angels. And I don't like forgiveness on the knees. This never tells me I am candid in what I'm saying. Forgiveness is, I really feel, toward yourself. I really feel that you feel that, not betray yourself, that you let yourself down, that you have been on a path, that you could do more, that you could jump higher, you can look better, you can express yourself better, you can present your work better, you can present yourself to the other partners better. But luck is on your side. You have the Jupiter in the house, right? You have Ace of Pentacles. You are already being rewarded for something that you did. So no more scratching your head. No, you cannot say, oh, this always happens to me, because you'll go back in that victim attitude. You need to energize and keep going. Good stuff, Libra. Good stuff. By the way, last week it was a lady who, and maybe that you can look up, who was like so amusing. She actually did have her running commentary. She did go and stamp, and then she was like giving comments. Oh, okay, Libra, sucks to be you, everything is going well, and that kind of stuff. I was giggling so hard. I really want to thank you for doing that. I really appreciate that. I mean, that kind of like really made my day. So I just want to acknowledge that. I just cannot think of a name right now. So I know that the fire is going to say, I am next, I am next. So how about we do Earth? How about we do Earth? Earth. Tori, how about me? Don't you love me? I'm like Safi right now. What about me? So there it is. You see, I'm a victim. For God's sake. No, I don't care. Okay, you can love all of them, but please kind of like spare a little bit for me as well. Okay. Sip of a coffee and earth. Laura Steinberg, that's right. She was something. Laura, you're amazing. If Laura, you're here on live, just chime in. I want to give you a 15-minute reading. I was like so impressed that you kind of like pay so much more, pay attention to it. If you're not on live, then please be on live, because I definitely want to acknowledge the effort that you have made. So guys, stay tuned, please. Kind of like, this is great. I like to see people more commenting and putting that extra warm energy in it. Okay, this coffee is cold, of course, because I'm already talking for 15 minutes. So, Tori, you're such a suck up. You're such a suck up. I point a finger at you. I was just kidding. Of course, you love all these lattes, like so amazing. And that's what I really want to say, guys. You can even talk about your day. That's why you're here, to connect. And lattes my eyes, because this is where my monitor is, but this is where I look, so I don't really necessarily see this. All right. We are Aqua sisters, yes. I'm doing Earth. I'm doing Earth. No, not 50. Okay, I guess. Yes. Completion, acceptance, balance, and despondence. The first thing that I notice are, okay, so you have these two bottom chakras, and then you have the top one. So there is like this something that needs to glue things together. Earth might be having stomach problems. There's like sadness. Do we have Earth in the house? Is there something that is happening that you're not able to put to rest? Or is there a past or some connection that is still haunting you? Or is it maybe that you're just feeling that there's like something elusive that, hi Kalima, hello, Kalima was the winner the last time around. Is there something that is eluding you, that you're like hoping for, you know, this big love coming your way, and that kind of like feeling, oh my gosh, you know, this is going to pass me by? And this is exactly when people don't get it, right? It's interesting that I'm here seeing Earth, and I know this kind of like picture looks a little bit morbid, and I hope you like my cards. I actually love this deck. When I do my privates, I use this deck a lot. It really helps me pinpoint the energy, right? So life is coming to, let's say, spectacular close. And on my Facebook, and I don't know if you guys are on my Facebook and my Instagram, please join in. I do daily tarot over there. Well, Lati does it. I just kind of like send her text. But I kind of like sometimes repost things from the other people, from the other thinkers. And this guy was talking about 3 deaths. And he did it, of course, to get... anyway, it was not his opinion. He was just really talking. In Mexico, there's this saying about 3 deaths. And I'm trying to think what the heck was the first one. I think the first one is a death of... because when you get born, you're actually dying. That's the whole thing that people are not understanding. So you definitely... there's a death of one stage to get in the next one. Then there is a physical death. When we have like this segment of whatever, being tourists on this planet for about 70, 80 years, not 17. And then we really die. But the third part, which I really disagree with, is he said the third death is when nobody speaks your name anymore, when your name is completely forgotten. To me, this is the same as the first one, is the death of an ego. You're becoming new. It's a fresh slate. Why would we feel, oh, people have to remember us? Why do we feel we need to leave the mark somewhere? Why can't we not be here where we are? It's just a natural procession that one day we're going to be replaced with the other people, and they have to man about their own life. And this is the beauty, that we have given them that life, that we have given them the better future, not that they have to worship us. So this is kind of like really telling me maybe you're stuck in one of those phases, because this is to me a reminder to basically cherish all the beauty in your life, including endings. And kind of like you guys need to reflect what is your part in that history and discover what you basically value. Your earth sign, your values are very immediate, right? You want to have cushion in the bank. You want to have friends who will be there for you. It's something very, very pragmatic that is kind of like really lovely about you. So this is about legacy. This is about maybe natural ending to grand adventure that you maybe had with someone, but this also is a new beginning that is right on the horizon. So whenever we look into something negative, we have to realize there's also something really, really positive coming through you. And then we have this acceptance. And I always look, whenever I see this card, I look, cherry pie. And guess what? Her name is Cherry. And there's like here, and also cherries have pits. And she has like this, obviously something in a pit of her stomach that is happening over here. Kind of like, where am I going? What am I doing? There is like kind of like understanding where you are. So I really think that there is like some of you that are putting pressure on yourself to be better, to strive higher, jump this, do this. You know, oh, if I just do that, things will improve. You know how people run for these fad diets all the time? And I know like this guy was like doing this cabbage diet. And I said, why are you doing this? Oh, like cancer patients do that. Do you have cancer? No. So why in the world are you doing this? Right? So this kind of like, accept yourself and you will find love. It's like so clear. You guys are maybe not assessing yourself accurately. You're not giving yourself understanding that you're actually much more. There is like some kind of like distortion, and this is clearly needing to be balanced over here. Simply accept yourself. You're selling yourself short. You're feeling incomplete for no reason. We are all complete in every given point from the moment when we were born. Just like remember that. It is just like, I mean, presenting yourself. It's just, okay, so this stone is rough. So guess what happens when you kind of like rub a stone against the stone? This is what happens. It's just like it's the presentation, but it's the same thing. So do not push yourself down. There is like a need for balance over here. I don't know, maybe there are other people around you, like it could be 2 women and 1 man that maybe are contributing to possibly this imbalance. Maybe it was just like a media influence or something, hearing it, like those messaging that we are getting. Just shut them all down. Look, you're having like this 2 basically third eye chakra. Third eye chakra is the direction. Where am I going and how am I going to get there, right? So balance card is like really like, I mean, maybe showing your reluctance to change, hesitating because of something in the past. Hello, Mercury retrograde. But it doesn't mean that you have to do certain things that are hasty. So you need to kind of like weigh different sides before making a decision. Try to look at yourself realistically. I also advise to you, because you guys have that very earthy sense of you, ask your friends, am I doing something wrong? Right? Kind of like ask yourself, ask them how they see you, ask them what are your best things, and kind of like emphasize that. And then you're having this is definitely, the Despondence card talks about taking action, that helpless situation is going to change, that you need to kind of like, this kind of like talks about the circumstances that you are accepting. The circumstances are literally going to be really important for this to you become mobilized, right? There are like still some parts where you're feeling immobilized, where there are things, but this is talking about revelation. There's going to be a moment that's going to just like come there. So I almost like think this is completely growth, because almost looks like that flower is growing out of her heart, and like then you're having a Mother Earth showing up. So you guys are really blossoming when somebody just like opens your eyes. There was like this really story parable about that sheep lion, and lion is basically just grew up with sheep, thinking that he's a sheep, so he's bleeding like a sheep, he's behaving like a sheep, he runs away when the dogs come to kind of like collect them. And so one day the sheep flock was like at the edge of the jungle, and there was like a jungle lion there, big and strong, and he's just looking at this sheep and thinking, lunch, let's me go and chase. And he's chasing, he's seeing that other lion. So what the heck? So there's like no territorial thing, what do I do? So he gave that lion a chase, and he cornered him, and this flock lion is shaking, don't eat me, please, please. And this guy is going, what the hell is wrong with you? So he drags him to the lake, and he says, look. And this lion is looking in the lake, looking at the other lion, in the lake, in the lion, and then all of a sudden he starts to roar. That moment he woke up, and he was no longer a sheep. So something like this, guys, big week for you. Big week. So Taurus. Taurus, Taurus, Taurus. Taurus. Taurus, Four of Pentacles reversed. Exactly. Acceptance and releasing. You had some walls. These walls were protective, and it was a good thing to have that band-aid for a while. No longer, because this band-aid is right now time to be removed. Not replaced, removed. The crutches need to go off. Training wheels need to go off. You can do it. And you have the moon. There it is, the ace that I don't really like. However, it is actually good in this situation. So Four of Pentacles, like somebody who kind of like didn't let people in. Maybe you guys have been hurt. Maybe you have lost somebody. Maybe you have been dealing with, you know, post-relationship crap, right? Lost in the dark. We see the moon over here. The moon can be jealousy. Well, somebody moved on, I didn't move on, right? It was maybe really, really hard to understand that the paths are separating. But this also means that the last phase, because this is 9 and this is 1, this is why it's turning really okay, it's saying that acceptance, that this is what it is the very thing you are trying not to do, is the thing that is just release you from everything, and you'll be fine. So it is really, really important to kind of like go in that direction. This is actually absolutely lovely, if I may say. Yes, you might still go through jealousy, and this is Mercury retrograde, you know, like kind of like we see a smell, and well, we see a smell, we smell a smell, we see something, we hear a music, reminds us of someone, and this like kind of like sinks us down. But you'll be able to turn this around in a really, really good way to give yourself like something, you're growing out of it. It's actually really, really lovely. And abundance, oh my gosh, that's music to your ears, absolutely music to your ears. So yes, let it go. You just have to send this mantra to the universe saying, I'm letting go, I'm accepting things that have to come to me, and that's going to put you in balance, and all of a sudden the big new door will open. Remember, life is a revolving door. If you're holding it, you might be protecting yourself from the wind, but you will also be protecting yourself from the sun. So that's really, really important point. Let's go with Capricorn. Capricorn, 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 Capricorn. Okay. Oh my gosh, Queen of Wands and the Lovers. You guys, not only are you opening yourself up, but you are actually meeting somebody. There's like somebody showing up, there's like this dating stage, but there's somebody who is really, really good. And I don't know why they didn't make a black kitty. Come on, black kitties unite in the world. Like, but this is really talking about being a little bit mysterious, being sexy, kind of like it's going to be somebody who will have a status. It's kind of really interesting because you might have a fire sign, you might have an air sign coming through. It's going to be a choice, and to some extent you'll be hesitating doing this choice, making this choice, because you will feel, well, if I release the past, I don't have this connection anymore. You need to accept it. You need to release it. This person is really, really good. If you're already in a relationship, this just like means that it's going to go on a much higher level. It's going to grow. It's going to blossom. So Mercury retrograde, even though it brings lots of crappy things, it has lots of good things. The things from the past that haven't been resolved are coming back to the surface, and we can resolve them. So it's kind of like really, really good thing to look at it. Contentment. Oh my gosh, you'll be purring, you'll be this kitty. So kind of a thing. Let that be your mantra, and things will actually move forward. This is a really lovely combination, guys. I have to say I am envious, and it will be kind of like over here, but it's you're kind of getting it, you know. It's the aha moment, which is not spelled like as with Seven of Swords, but it's really spelled over here. Look, you're going to be even grateful, and that's the gratefulness. And you know, it's like almost like saying, think about a drastic situation that you're like, that your airplane crashed and you are somewhere in the desert, but you survived, and a whole bunch of other people survived, and there's this child that is sick, and you just have just a big certain amount of water, so you're sacrificing your amount for the child. So this is like something, realizing I need to sacrifice this because there is like something that has to happen. This is right thing to do, and I can get through, right? And then all of a sudden you sacrifice this, you give it to this child, and there is like, I mean, Calvary is coming, you're all rescued, versus like somebody who just didn't want to do it. So you see kind of how things can come full circle in a hurry. Oops, sorry. Certain things need to be shut off over here. So there is a doctor calling me, and I didn't call them, so it's a wrong number. So how do I, on this phone, turn this off? This sound. I leave it on because of the stuff with Dad is always happening, but half an hour anybody can wait. Okay, so guys, you are going to be very comfortable with your decisions over here. Really good thing to know. Who I didn't do Virgos. Let's see, Virgos, you always need this balance. For Virgos, I'm also picking up that you feel that you need a severe diet change for some reason. You feel also that I don't know why hormones came to me, are out of balance, and that they need to kind of like come back to it. Maybe you just like want to do your checkup for a month. Oh my gosh, why do you have this? So yeah, I really think there is like sort of like this why questions. You want certain answers, and you're feeling a little bit stuck about fearing the answer, need to make a solution, right? So there is like this very nervous energy that is coming through in your case. You're having these two twos, that indecision. Just like I said to the other sign, it looks like you're really dealing with something immediate. It is really important. I clearly, this is again about balance. Just like as I told you, this kind of like Libran energy really comes through, needing to kind of like put things in order. You are feeling that, you know, direction where you're going is not where you want to go. Decisions need to be made. Here we had the moon, and here we have the crescent moon showing up. There is like some kind of like point that you want to make. You're afraid of some decision, you're afraid of some discovery, or maybe there are things that just like are currently not anything that you really like. It's just like you have to make a choice where no choice appears to be good one. So hence you're just like going minute by minute, day by day, and see how things really go. So again, guys, acceptance is the answer over here. Just like if you're thinking that you are kind of like that rat into the kind of like rat wheel cage, just say to yourself, it's okay, I'm a rat in this wheel, and I'm going to be spinning this for the rest of my life. And all of a sudden you're going to say, huh, this doesn't really sound so bad when I said it. So, and all of a sudden you're not anymore. That's kind of like the process. For you it might be a little bit harsher, I have to say, because you're going to be stuck in your head with this. You're going to have a mini panic attacks. Oh my gosh, I need to do that, I need to do that. And that's because you're a perfectionist, no other reason. So that's why it is. So let's see what I see here. That's right, enthusiasm. Enthusiasm is going to be what's going to lift your energy up. So you're going to kind of be able to see the situation from a different standpoint. So health check is in order for you, clearly, because I know you monitor your health and it's really, really important. Also, make the goddamn decision. Anything, pick anything, it's good. Both of these decisions are not important for your kind of like long term. Just make them. Turn around and smell the roses. You can always come back and choose the other one. Remember that it's not going to be life or that situation. It is very, very important. Something needs to be left in the past. Don't hold on to it. It's kind of like important to release it. Okay, and who we didn't do? Fire. Fire, my lovely fire is last is fire. Fire. Let's mix this in, and I hope I finish this. I have a client in 20 minutes. Okay, fire. Look at Karina, 2 men for you. Oh my gosh, lucky girl. Fire. Quest. Was it water? And balance. And this one wants to come out. And vanity. Okay. Very, very simple. Look, you are really, it's going to be all about communication, all about kind of like who you are, what you want versus what the other people want. Are you preaching to the wrong crowd? Like, I mean, it's like people talk to me and people send me emails and messages. God, you know, I think I'm nuts. I am able to pick up on certain things, and I'm going nuts. I said, no, but if you talk about it with the wrong people, or you talk about astrology or tarot, yeah, they can label you. Yeah, that's what it is. We people label, sticker. Like, just imagine that. So you have to check the source, and you have to check like what is more important, that you live your own life, that you go forward toward your own goals, toward where you need to go, toward your summer. So maybe you're going through this period of life or period of a year where you feel that you're either not productive or that you need to leave certain things in order to kind of like make them grow. So you're planting your seeds right now by, there's like this higher vision, there are higher goals. You're having throat and third eye chakras over here balancing. Yeah, look at this. There are like 3 people that aren't happy over here, but there's one person who just doesn't give, right, that thing. And so what's basically going to be happening right now is that you will be that person. You will be, you know what, yeah, I am anyway not making everybody happy, but I used to make myself unhappy in the process. So this time around, you know what, I'm going to do what I think I need to do for myself. So yeah, do not speak to the wrong crowd. Just make sure that you actually find like people who think like you, people who will nourish you, people who will support you. And you are like totally getting that. You're totally understanding that you are preaching to the wrong crowd, and that your way is not, listen, like in math, and a math graduate, like, I mean, it's exact. Math is not science. Many people think it's science, but it's not science. Math is just assisting every other science. So hence it's kind of package deal with the everything else. So why? Math is exact. With the other things, right, you can always debate it. Like, even if you come up with a scientific conclusion, well, it can be challenged, and then you come up with the next layer, and we keep replacing it until we are fully kind of clear on this. With math, not so. It has to be exact the first time around, right? Unless you made an error in calculations, but that's error of the operator. Even if you take this 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 minus 8 is 0. But 1 plus 4 minus 3 is also 0. So we can take different paths to get to the same result. So that's over here. You don't necessarily have to push yourself to go through the wall. So just find this path that your heart is taking you there. Very, very important. Okay. So, Leo, the Chariot reversed. Leo, 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 Leo. Ugh. Leo. Why is this happening? Oh, some of you Leos are maybe feeling, okay, this is what they called trying to accommodate at any cost. You guess you have trained people around you that you're going to bend around to their needs, and you'll help them. So now running things, you're feeling you're running things in a ditch. You're feeling that they'll feel rejected, that you will be a rejectee as well if you do things, if you start forging forward. So you'll be a little bit stuck in the situation. You will have a hard time dealing with this. Vanity, to me, it's also kind of like a brainwash. It's also like, look, everybody wants you to do that, so you gotta do that. Well, dare to be different. Dare to try different things. Dare to, when people say you should do this, who says so? Who the heck are you, right? I will do it this way, right? And if it doesn't work for you, you will make this decision to change this later. So it might be a little bit of step backward for you. Yeah, vanity and beauty, maybe that's what it is. Maybe some of you are thinking, I am not a lioness enough, I'm not a lion enough. Let out that mighty roar that I was telling you from that story. You know, do not be a follower. It is, why do you think you are lion? You're presented with the sun. Sun is the center of the solar system. You kind of like have to allow all these other people to do stuff for you as well. It looks like to me that your generosity, the things that you were doing, instead of like getting pat on the back, instead they were saying, give me more, give me more, give me more, and hence you were getting more and more and more out of balance. So that's really, really important over here. Maybe the same people are telling you something about how you look, or there are suggestions that somehow penetrating and getting under your skin. You're spending lots of time thinking between head and your heart. So stop it. Stop it. You're just surrounded with the wrong people. That's as easy as it is. Just like that's people that they made you feel this way. If you made yourself feel this way, you just like need to get out as well, right? Literally get out. You guys are planting seeds. So what kind of seeds do you want to plant? I'm horrible, nobody wants me, I'm ugly. Is that really what you want to plant? Why don't you plant, I'm great, I'm beautiful, I'm loving, and even though I don't think about it this way, I'm planting a seed, and in 6 months down, 6 months time, I'm going to be just everything like that. So see the difference in the attitude. Sagittarius, 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 Sagittarius. Nope, nope, I'm not taking this because it was about 17 cards out there. Sagittarius, Sagittarius, Sagittarius. Ooh, the star. I wonder if my Saggy X is going to contact me every single Mercury retrograde. There he comes. So Sagittarians, do you have any Aquarian in your life? Are you still kind of like having some kind of hope? That could be Aquarian, that could be Aquarian, that can be a Leo. Certainly it's spiritual, certainly it's something that is coming through to you for you, but here for Leos it was more or less of matter of fact kind of a thing about direct connections with the people in your life. For you Sagittarians, it's more like philosophy, and that is a big shift, and that's why I need to do this Mercury retrograde. Not so much Mercury retrograde, the planetary shift. You guys are going to be affected the most. all of a sudden it will change. It kind of like probably felt for you, you had a stone around your neck, and things were really not going anywhere. Like you were trying and trying and trying, and you know how they say you keep trying and getting different results? It's like in definition of insanity. In your case, you were trying the right thing and you were not getting results because you were not in the right company, you were not with the right circumstances, or you didn't choose the path where you were supposed to do. And right now this is changing. Right now you're reassessing things that they stem to the past. There's like still something connecting with the past, which could be material, it could be about investments, it could be about things that you have already built that, you know, wondering if certain things can be rebuilt. So that's why it kind of like came to me, well, do you really want to reconnect with someone with whom you have been before? This can mean that. This can also mean that you guys are actually starting to date, or even if you're with somebody, that this is going to have the quality of dating in a relationship, kind of like doing things. So hence the vanity can kick in. Oh, we didn't go on a date for quite a while. Oh, I look fat in this dress, right? So this is the healing. This is kind of like lifting up your energy and kind of moving it forward, understanding, hey, look at this, I accomplished all of that. I sometimes forget to give myself a tap on the shoulder, right? So there is like this kind of like new vision of it's not just so much creativity, but it's kind of like a new ideas, it's a new hope. So you have this Libra, you have Aquarius over here coming through it. You might have earth signs also showing up that I see over here. Let me see your card. Simplicity. Go back to the basics. Really do, because I really think you being a sign of luck, and some of you don't feel that way at all, that's because you're struggling. You are what they call it, pissing against the wind, right? Just release. If the wind is blowing in your face, you shouldn't be pissing against the wind, and pardon my language, just turn your back around, kind of a thing, right? Make it simple. Don't swim up the stream. Things are already there. The things didn't happen because there was not a time, there was not a place, and you were out of balance. Things just didn't gel because of that. And who is the last one today? The very first sign is the last sign. Aries. 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 Thank you, Barbie, for reminding everybody, please like. Today we have less people, but everybody is like so, you know, cool, and I just love that. Aries. And okay, I still have 10 minutes. Still need to go to the bathroom before I get on with my client. Aries. 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 This is 5 of Wands reversed. Aries. Aries. Oh, Aries. What's going on? The worst is over. Good news. Good news, the worst is over. The balance needs to be established. You need to kick certain people out of your life. Clearly, you are going to be struggling with that mentally. Maybe you don't have ability to kick them out. This could be a work situation where you're fighting for your position, where you're fighting for the air, you're fighting for kind of like moving forward, right? This, I actually like this card. This card to me talks about establishing your priorities and understanding that people will roll over you unless you kind of like take care of yourself. But you may be driven with, again, with the wrong reasoning over here. You really want what you want, how you want it, but that's not what the destiny wants to serve you, right? You really want this steak, you're in a restaurant, you want a steak, but destiny is saying, but look, there's like this spectacular filet mignon that I can do for you, and I would give it to you if you are not that rigid. So be less rigid over here. This is actually a good card, even though it doesn't look great. This means a phase of some suffering or some delusions, or people who have been stabbing you, backstabbing you, surprising you with a whole bunch of stuff, are the people who need to leave your life. So you either minimize them, you put this kind of like block that you're not going to be reactive to what they say, or just simply press the delete button and get rid of them from your life, right? So, and you write your own card. It says, and I believe that was a cover card, but I left it in. Okay, Have is the winner. So have, lucky have, and I know have wants sidereal astrology. So you guys, you have the sky open to do whatever you wanna do. So my dear Aries, you see how the negative can turn into the positive? Sky is the limit. So do you want to stay where you are? Do you want to stay backstabbed? Do you want to stay, you know, dealing with this people and with the situation? Or are you going to say, you know what, I'm shifting, I'm turning this, kind of like flicking the switch, I'm setting a new direction. Even though that doesn't mean quit the job, it doesn't mean kind of like leave this person. This mental shift, you are never going to resonate in the same way, and you'll be attracting completely different times and different circumstances. So everybody, this was like for today. I am so thankful for everybody being here. So I'm going to leave music on so you can guys still have a few minutes to kind of like kiss each other, love each other. And until the next time, I will announce if I'm doing live, or otherwise I'll just post a mini video about the Mercury retrograde. So it was lovely to see you all. I hope everybody has a good week. Guys, if you can come back and post some kind of like snarky comment about the reading and about your sign, and just, you know, we can all jointly giggle to it, that would be really great. Okay, so let me play the music for you, and then I'll see you next week. Love you. Thank you guys. It was nice to see you. I'll see you very soon. Love you.